Rafa? Afternoon.
Hello.
You're ready for holidays, come on.
Yeah. Rafa, away from Newcastle to start, if you don't mind, some week of football, what have you made of all of it?
This week?
Yeah.
I think it was amazing. I have to say congratulations to all the English teams. I think it was a great achievement, so never has happened in the past. And I think they did really well. And not just the fact that they are already there, it's just the way that were the semi-finals and has been really good games.
Yeah, the first time ever 4 teams from one country have made it to both finals. What does that say about the strength of the Premier League and where it is as a league right now?
Yeah, I said so many times that the Premier League is the strongest league in the world now. Obviously, thanks to you, the TV money and all these things, that is one of the factors. But you have very good players, very good managers. The atmosphere is really good. And you can see the stadiums when you are watching games in the TV, full of fans supporting the teams. And I would say another thing that is really important also for the future. Has to be like this at the moment. That is quite good. Respect for the people. I remember long time ago I came to see a game. It was a Stoke, and I don't remember which team it was, but I am talking about maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And I saw the fans, both a group of fans, and they were together and they were singing. So, what respect? And I have been in another countries or playing around the world, and sometimes that is the most difficult thing. So, I think it's an important message for everyone.
What about for the other countries, though? What does it say, the fact that all teams are from England? Is that a bad thing for the competition as a whole?
Maybe if it's every year, yes. If it's just 1 year, I don't think so. So I think that the Italian teams, the German teams, the Spanish teams, they are strong enough, and I'm sure that the French teams, that they will try to compete and they will try to be there next year. So maybe it's more a challenge for them than just bad news. But if the next year is the same, then it's something that you have to worry about, not in England, but in the rest of Europe.
You know more than anyone what Liverpool can do on their night, but even by their standards, were you surprised by what they pulled off on Tuesday night?
Not really. I think that we played against them and then we knew about the intensity. We were more surprised about the intensity of Barcelona, because we played against Real Madrid at Anfield, and then we did really well. So everybody was expecting that could be something like that. We played against Barcelona, Messi was there. So I think everybody knew that would be very difficult. And also I know people in the Barcelona staff that they were working for Liverpool. So everybody knew that could be like that. So it was a surprise that they were not reacting when Liverpool was pushing in the way that we knew that they could push.
People are saying it was the best comeback of all time.
Nah, you know, you did the match, and then you know that was who won.
Well, of course, you scored 4.
No, who won this one? What you did in the sky? So
the poll.
The poll, yeah. Who won?
Oh, actually, was it yours? Yeah.
Yeah. It's impossible. So when you talk about, listen, 45 minutes, 3 goals, the way that everything was going on. I had one person coming from Turkey 1 week ago, and still they are talking about this game. So that's it.
Have you told Jurgen that?
No, I say congratulations. So I have good relationship with him, and I think it's a great achievement. So they're doing really well.
Okay, so you can confirm yours was the best comeback, 2005. Is that?
You have 33%. I think was very clear.
Don't look at the numbers too much.
Yeah, check again.
But yeah, I mean, it was terrific, and it's great to see that Liverpool have still got that from your time. That's obviously something that's carried on from your time as manager.
No, I think seriously now every game is different. So we're talking about a final and half time. So in this case, we are talking about a proper game, 90 minutes, and the atmosphere in Liverpool at Anfield is really good. So I think it was great, but Liverpool was quite good in the first game too. So they were unlucky with the performance of Messi, but they were quite good. So I think in the end they deserve to be in the final because they are a very good team.
I know, just moving on to Newcastle and yourself, I know you said on Saturday you expect some kind of answer, some kind of news within the next week or two. Has there been any further from that, or is it actually?
Yeah, it's exactly the same line, and I will tell you and these people at the back, they will listen to me, so hopefully they won't ask me the same question all the time. So we will have a meeting for sure, and then we will let you know when we have any information, but still we have to concentrate on the next game.
So the plan for you now, get Sunday out of the way, do you get off on holiday, or are you still going to be around?
No, I will be around. Still, my daughter is in the school, so they have to do the GCS or whatever, so I have to be around.
So no holiday for you?
Yeah, maybe later on. So yeah, we will have time. Don't be worried that I don't need too much time on holiday, so it can be for 1 week and will be enough.
You definitely seem more relaxed as the weeks have gone on. Over the last few weeks, you seem a lot more relaxed about the future.
Yeah, especially the target was to stay in the Premier League, and we knew how difficult it could be. Then we needed to be really focused and concentrate the last games, and then you have more tension. And then now, after being safe, it's maybe like last year, that then you are more relaxed. You have to prepare the games in the same way, but you know that it's not the same when you go. You are at the bottom of the table, and then every point can make a difference. Or when you can say, listen, we will try to go as high as possible on the table, but if you cannot, still is not the end of the world.
Can I just ask you one more? Just going back to the teams in the final, in the European final, the Champions League final, two of the players who you had here, Moussa Sissoko and Gini Wijnaldum, playing. Of course, both of them left when you were relegated. Could you have ever envisaged them going on to such stages when the team were relegated?
No, I know as directly, because I was talking with Gini and I was talking with Moussa, so I know exactly what was going on. And I would say that it was impossible to keep some of these players when the team was relegated. That they wanted to go, they wanted to play in the Premier League, and they have very good offers. And I was involved in that because I was talking with both, and I know what they were telling me, and the agents telling me, and when I was talking with Lee Charnley, so then they had to go. You couldn't stop them at this time. I think we did well in terms of the prices, because at this time was very good prices, and that's it. They were good players. Nobody has never questioned it, at least from my part, about the quality of both players.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Rafa, Salomon Rondon winning the Newcastle Player of the Year award this week. Just where are we in terms of his future and him staying here?
Yeah, obviously I can see what he's saying. I talk with him every day, and then everybody's really pleased because he played really well for us, and he was a key player in our achievement. So then it's very easy to say, oh, we have to sign him. But still we have to decide about what is going on with me. Obviously, he has to wait and see what happened with what's wrong with Albion, and then so all these things we have to wait a couple of weeks, and after we will know. I understand that you have to ask, and all the fans, they will say the same, but we have to wait, and in 10 days we will know what is going on.
Is there a sense then that your future has to be sorted out first before these final decisions can be made in terms of the future of other players?
Not because me, it's just common sense. So you might that you have another manager and say, no, I want to change the press room, and then I want to change Salomon Rondon. So it depends on these things, and after you can move forward.
But you're hoping within 10 days or so there will be a decision.
Yeah,
it's important to get it done quickly.
Not just a decision, it's also you have the playoffs, and you will have a better idea what is going on there.
In terms of Fulham, team news?
Yeah, we have more or less the same problem that we had before, because at the end of the season and the kind of injuries that we had, they will not be ready. And also we have lost a key that has a knee problem, not very serious, but we don't want to take any risk.
You said a few weeks ago, well, a couple of months ago as well, that this game could have been so crucial for Newcastle. Fortunately, it's not. How much of a relief is that to have reached that mark with several games to play? Yeah,
I was checking before to come last year. I think it was 44 points. We finished 10th, and this year 10th is 50 points already. So that means that this year was more difficult. This season was more difficult, and I was trying to explain at the beginning, because everybody was spending big money, and I was talking about the miracle, and then people said, "Oh, yeah," but the reality is that it was more difficult, and then I think it was a great achievement. It could be better, yes. Always you are expecting that this game or the other one, and you could do better. But if you analyze the potential of all the teams, I think we did great. And it's a situation that 3 games to play when you are safe. What I said before is not the same a feeling that you have to play every game. And you could see we play against Brighton. I was the example. You could see Brighton in the first half, Brighton in the second half. So the first half they couldn't do what they used to do. The second half they needed to do it. So it was a massive difference, and you could feel that. So, and for us, 3 games to play and have the possibility to do things that you wanted to do, that is really good.
And you spoke about the difference between the points totals from last season and this season. Do you think that trajectory will keep going in the Premier League? Will the quality keep rising? Will the need to invest will become pressing to just keep pace with the way that this league is going?
Yeah, but at the same time, I will say, why is that? It's because the teams at the top of the table, they were quite strong, and also, I would say the top 10, but the teams at the bottom of the table, also they are doing well. So if you are right, signing the right players at the bottom of the table, would means that maybe you can get more points. If you can get more points from the other teams, maybe it will be less at the end on the table. So I don't think that is because it will be like that the next season. No, just this one was like that, and maybe this one will be different. But clearly, it was more difficult for us because we were there. So teams that they are at the top, for them maybe it will be easier because you can get 97 points or whatever. That is because you are much stronger than the other teams.
Thank you.
So Rafa, because of the difficult start you had this season, you seem to be rating this season's achievement as better and greater than last season.
No, I think that we didn't realise last year that to finish 10th was a miracle. And this year we were expecting, now we finished 10th, maybe we can finish 7th. And it was impossible because you can be lucky one year, or you can do really well one year, but to be consistent, you have to have everything in place. And then when you see the other teams, also remember that Brighton, Huddersfield and us, we promoted, and we were more or less there. But when you have Fulham promoting or Wolves and spending 100 million, could be totally different. So I think to be where we are now is a great achievement. Maybe not bigger than last year, but it was more difficult for sure the season.
And do you think sort of 12th, 13th, I mean, that's assuming you're going to win at Fulham, is about right? Is that kind of an accurate league position for you?
You could ask me the same question after 8 games, and it was all over the moon. At the beginning, you never know. I think what I said before, because the teams that they were promoted, and also the teams at the bottom of the middle of the table, they were spending so much money. I think it's fair because we did well. We are missing some points in some games, and maybe we're lucky in another game. So I think it's fair enough. No, still not happy with that because I would like to be higher, but I think it's fair enough.
You talked about sorting your contract, looking at what happens in the playoffs as sort of starting points for a whole sort of series of domino effect things in the transfer market. Ayoze Perez is attracting a lot of interest, mainly because of what's happened in the last few months in terms of the players around him perhaps making him perform better.
Yeah, it was the same last year, so we don't know why. Maybe because he's from Tenerife and it's always sunny, so when the weather is improving, maybe he's feeling better. But it's true that he was doing well. The people around him was helping him to play well. And now it's easy to talk about Ayo or to talk about any other players, because obviously when you do well at your level, the teams that are around you, they are interested in these players. So now I am sure that the new interviews that I will do, they will be asking me about players, and you cannot talk now because it's too early. So then Ayo has done well. That is normal. The people will talk about him. He was doing well in the second part of the league because the relationship with the players around was much better. Yes, all these things are right.
And even though we don't have a final decision on your future yet, presumably you're having to sort of think in your own head about who the players you would want to hang on to if you do stay.
Not really, because I think we have one game to play, and we have to try to do well. As you say, we can finish one position higher on the table, then we will try to do that. And after that, we will know, because I cannot be wasting time and energy talking about this. I have some players asking me questions, and then what about this? What about this? And still, I don't know. So we have to wait. And if we have been patient for 8 months, we can wait another 10 days. So
you might be quite busy before this week's holiday of yours.
Yeah, if No, I have to be. I would like to be busy for sure. So I don't like to be at home just watching the telly. So I would like to be busy.
Chris?
Okay.
Rafa?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you talk about being busy there. You said that you're going to have a meeting. Who will be at that meeting? Who are you expecting to speak to?
I am sure that I will be there if we have the meeting, and the other people. I don't know. We will see. So obviously, Lee Charlie has to be there, but I don't know who else. Then you will know.
No, so you don't expect to see Mike Ashley, or perhaps?
Yeah, I'm expecting to see him, but I don't want to talk too much about the meeting because still we don't know. So, and you will be worried about that. It's just if we have the meeting and we have some news, we'll let you know.
Just on the point of obviously trying to prepare for next season, do you have to work on the assumption, the basis that you will be here next year when you're making plans?
No, we have already done. What we have to do is to say yes to the tournament in China. That is not ideal for the manager, but it's maybe good for all the clubs that are involved, because at the end it's publicity and money. So it's something that sometimes you have to do it, and I did it with Real Madrid, I did it with Liverpool, so then it can happen. So it's like that. The point is that it's not ideal in terms of the preparation. So I was checking when we will come back, and normally will be 4th of July, and when we will start the season, and then the games that you have there. So you have to see all these things, and you have to prepare things, even if you are not here, but you have to do what you have to do.
Just on the match this weekend, obviously you're safe. Fulham are relegated. It's, to a supporter, it probably looks like there's not a lot to play for. Would you be tempted to change the team at all?
No, I have the same feeling. When we play against Liverpool, we are professionals and we try to win, and we try to do our best. Every week is more difficult, and it depends on the other team. It's more difficult to motivate your players, but you have to try to do that. And when you have players with little things, little knocks, you don't want to take any risk. But not just you as a manager, the players, they don't want to take any risk. So you have players that maybe they will leave at the end of the season because they are on loan or they finish contract. I don't think that they will take any risk in a game like this one. So then it will not be an easy one, but still you have to be fair with the professional that has been working so hard during the whole season, and then give them the chance to play, to do well. And after, maybe you have to make the substitution that could be different than in another games, but still you have to try to approach the game with the same mentality and try to win. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rafa. Good luck.
Have a good. Shalom.